I want to show you two sort of standard graph types that we use to display geographical data, a Cleveland dot plot and a Choropleth. Okay, so the first thing we have to do, we need the tidyverse, of course, and tidy census. And in addition, there's this library SF. You're going to have to install that package. Without that, we can't do the Choropleth. This gives us our mapping data. And we're going to use the 5-year ACS for 2020. And here I'm getting all the variable names, and I see that there are a lot of them, 27,850. So we're going to have some more systematic search methods. We can't just search through all the variable names by hand. Okay, so I'm going to check the head of V20, and I see that I've got a table name, and then there's a label which describes what's in that particular variable in the table, and the concept, and then the geography which is valid. And the important thing we get out of here for this exercise is the total population is in B010001_001. The very most important piece of data in the whole thing, of course. And I want to find the proportion of bachelor's degree holders in the population of each Washington county. Okay. So I want to find the rows in V20 where the name contains B15012. I know that the count of bachelor's degree holders is in this table because of an exploration I did with Census Reporter. And there's the URL for Census Reporter. And I'll show you what I did. Let's go over here. Immediately when you open Census Reporter, this is what you're looking at. So if you type DEGREE, oops, misspelled, and you see total fields of bachelor's reported B15012. Okay, so that's what told me that I needed that table to get what I wanted. Okay, and here we looked at all the rows in that table where the name contains the string B15012. And I see that what I want is this thing, give my cursor, B15012_001. And then we are going to use get an ACS to get data from the 2020 ACS. We want the total number of bachelor's degrees and the population for each county in Washington. So, okay, so this thing, options, Tigris use cache equal true. That is to prevent a whole lot of messy output and stop you from having to get the geometry every time you get data from this query. Okay, so I want, here's get underscore ACS, year is 2020, and I've got two variables that I want. I want this thing, which I just identified, and I'm going to call that bachelor's, and then I want pop, which is, as we discovered earlier, this thing. And I want the state to be Washington, the geography to be county, and I want the output wide. That is because I want these two variables in the same row so I can do manipulation that I need to do. And I have to have a geometry so that I get the data from, I get the data that I need to create the Choropleth. Okay, so here's what raw data is. It's a simple features collection. That is, it's more than just a data frame or tibble. It actually has some other stuff. There's the bachelor's degree estimate and the population estimate. And those are the two things that I need, in addition, of course, to the value of name, which is Washington County. And I'm going to want to get rid of this county, comma, Washington. We'll see how I do that later. So we want a file name BS rate. It contains two variables only. That's all that we need. First of all, there's the variable BS underscore rate, which contains the ratio of estimated bachelor's degrees and the estimated population, and name, the value of this thing called capital name with the county, comma, Washington removed. So here's the way we do it. BS underscore rate is raw underscore data, and then mutate. BS underscore rate is equal to bachelor's E divided by pop E, and name, this is where we get rid of the extraneous county, comma, Washington, which appears in every row. And then all I really want to keep is the name and the BS rate. Note that that's what I said, to select only name and BS rate, but you notice that what I get when I look at the head of BS rate, I've got the name and the BS rate, but then I've got this other column called geometry. That is because this is a simple features collection, not a simple table. So I can operate on this part of the simple features object just as though it were a normal table, but then I always carry along the geometry. Okay? So you want to modify the last slide in Walker's first chapter to get a Cleveland dot plot of BS underscore rate. And let's take a look at what I did. Okay. So X is BS rate, Y is reorder of name, comma, BS rate. That's what gives me the sorted appearance. And the GM underscore point, color is navy, size is 4. And theme underscore minimal, base size equal 12. I changed this from what Walker used because what Walker used just didn't work in my setup. And then I provided the labels, and here's what I've got. And you can look at the results and see it's kind of surprising. The highest proportion of bachelor degrees is actually in San Juan County, and then Jefferson County is also quite high. I think these are basically retirement communities with a lot of high-income people. You wouldn't normally think of Jefferson County as being a retirement community, but it contains Sequim. And I suspect this is all the city of Sequim and the surrounding area, which is just filled with luxurious retirement places. Okay? And we then continue. There's a big drop down between Jefferson County and Thurston County, where we live, but we're the sort of top of the what you might call the more normal counties. And finally, it trickles down, and finally you get to Adams County bringing up the very tail. Okay? So I'll modify what Walker did at the end of his last chapter to make a choropleth of this data. You could try it yourself and then take a look at what I did. You might want to pause the video at this point and see if you want to try it. Okay? Anyway, I'll take a look right now at what I did. So I made some changes. I left the fill mapped to BS rate, and then I took, I did not map the color to BS rate. I took the color out of the aesthetic and just made it a single variable value white. Then it's pretty normal what the rest of it is. This is basically copied from Walker, the rest of it. And here you see the results. And you've got, here's San Juan County. And there's King County. And there is Jefferson County. And you see Pierce County is a bit of an outlier for the sandwiched between Thurston and King. Pierce always winds up kind of low and everything.